What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the farm. Hey, today is a exciting day because we are finishing up our fence build. Today on the docket, we are going to buy all of the materials we need to build our gates. I've already got all the measurements and I've got a book in my truck that we're gonna use to go get our pipe and get our square tubing. I bought a little MIG welder. It's that Art Captain. A lot of YouTubers are getting it. It's a really entry-level rig. And to be honest, I don't weld enough to warrant buying like a Miller or a Lincoln. Here's our mesh panel. We're gonna get all the rest of our stuff from another place. So I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the truck to the trailer, and we are gonna head to the shop before they close here in about an hour and a half and get all the materials we need to finish up these gates. And then I'm also gonna run by possibly like Harbor Freight or something and grab a welding cart, just so we don't have to leave it on that Amazon box. I do like to have things on wheels too, so we can move it. But let's go ahead, hook up the trailer to the truck and head to the shop. We are loaded up at the metal place, and we are going to try to get turned around and out of here, and we will see you back at the house. We're going to drop this off and then go get some more stuff. All right, we are back from all the stores. Picked up our wood slats for our fence, picked up our gate material, also picked up some track for that wood to sit in, and I'm just going to start unloading everything, start getting it ready. We have gotten everything kind of taken out of the boxes. We went ahead and built our welding cart, set our welder up on top of it. I went ahead and basically set it up so it's ready to go. The TIG or the MIG spool gun is already, or the MIG gun is already attached to it. I'm gonna do some cleaning up in here, get us some room to work. I also bought an abrasive chop saw, which I've needed to buy for a long time, but I went ahead and got one on a deal at Harbor Freight, and we'll unload that and get that set up as well. But we're gonna unload all these boards and get all this metal off of the trailer, and then we will start building. All right, we are back in action today. As you can hear, I'm still not feeling well. I don't know what is going on, but I have been just working and trying to catch up. But it is during the week. I've got about an hour to work before my wife needs to go to work. I'm gonna pull those off of the trailer, set them in here. I also went and found me an argon bottle. So now I'm running my MIG welder with gas, which is gonna be so much better and so much stronger. So I'm gonna grab some gloves and we're gonna go ahead and bring that material in, and then I'm gonna set up our chop saw and maybe talk about how many gates and what we're about to do in this video. So let's grab that pipe and bring it in here. All right, so we picked up a few things from our hardware store. We bought these hinges. These hinges are great and are gonna serve our purpose well because they're adjustable. So what we'll end up doing, and this is what it looks like, this will weld to our gate, and they're greasable, which I appreciate and will use, and then they're adjustable. So what I'll end up doing is cutting a hole through the pipe, and then we'll take this nut off. There's washers in here. We'll throw a washer on there, run it through the pipe, throw a washer on the back side of it, and tighten it down. That way we can adjust how far the hinge is from the actual post. This helps us in situations and places where the ground isn't super level and or the post that this is screwing into is not 100% level, which is happening because ground shifts over time. Also the fence is going to be settling now that we've got it all stretched. So just to be able to come back every once in a while and adjust those and grease them are going to be super important to just making sure that they work well. We also bought this. This is going to go on our gate in between our house and the shop. This is just a latch and it's spring loaded. So we'll insert this through our gate, and then this will kind of stick out at the end of it like that, and then we'll be able to cut a hole in the pipe to where this goes into it. Allows us to close and keep the gate closed over here. We also bought this flat plate, but these are going to go on our spring-loaded gates. So we're going to have two spring-loaded gates. One is going to go back out here behind the shop, going into the pasture, and the other one is going to go over there that goes into our no man's land over by our power junction boxes. And what we'll end up doing is so here's the top of our gate, and here's the bottom of our gate. We'll end up putting a slam plate on each corner of that, and the gate will open this way, and this will be able to close and stop the fence from closing on the post that we set it up against. Also got our 2-inch square tubing, and we got some track. The track is going to be where we put our boards for our decorative fences. So the big question now is how many gates do we need, and how big do they need to be to fit in these holes? So let's talk about that real quick. So without further ado, let's get to it. What you'll see is just a compilation of videos over the last 3 to 5 days of the week. I came out every single night after the girls went to sleep and just worked on these gates. I tried to finish one a night, but some of them are a little bit difficult, so we are doing these as we can, like I said, and hopefully that will culminate in this Saturday being able to either get my father-in-law's welder back out on property to weld these gates and cut the holes that I need to with the cutting torch. All right, so the first gate that we have is the gate behind the shop. It is going to be a spring-powered slamming gate is what I'm calling them. And we are looking at an opening that is 38 inches wide and obviously 4 foot tall. We want that top rail of our gate to match the top rail on the fence. So like I said, we're gonna make a gate that's close to 36 inches wide, and then that should give us plenty of room for our hinges and a tight fit. The biggest thing about our slamming gates is I want them to be close to as tight as possible because they're gonna have those slam plates on there, and I want to utilize as much of that as possible. The second gate that we need to build is the backyard gate that goes in between our shop and our house. That gate opening is 45.5 inches. And so we're gonna build a 43.5 inch gate. I'm still deciding on whether I'm gonna put the mesh in there or if I'm gonna match it to the decorative look that we have for the rest of it. The rest of that fence right there is gonna be all wood slat. So I may match that to that. That is gonna have our horseshoe spring-loaded latch on it. Then we have the no man's land gate. That is a spring-loaded slamming gate again. It is 36.75 inches, so it's gonna end up being a 34 and 3/4 inch gate. That is gonna have mesh in it. And then finally, we have our backyard gate. The backyard gate is unique because originally I thought I was gonna be able to just put a 10-foot gate in there that matches our green one back in the corner behind our shop. But I ended up making some miscalculations on our fence, and it ended up being a little bit under 10 foot, which is fine, but it's a way easier for me to fabricate a gate that fits in that hole than to tear out posts and cut the pipe back and make it big enough. So we are just going to work with what we have, and that gate isn't going to be used very often, so I can make it look nice and make it look like it's a piece of the fence. So those are the 4 gates that we need to build in this video, and I am ready to get after it. And I just worked on them as I could here. I put to use our new welder and our new cutting aggressive chop saw, and got a lot done, and you're seeing these gates go together in real time. That is perfect. All right, we have reached a stopping point today. I got almost everything done that I wanted to. I've got those 2 built. I just need to put the slam plates on one of these guys. And then I also got this one built. This is gonna be the one that goes right here in between the house and the shop. I also have drilled the hole, as you can see, drilled the hole for the handle to go through it. And we will wait until the fence and gate are on the post, and then we'll cut a hole for the latch to go through, and then we should be good to go there. I kind of changed plans here. On this gate right here, I'm gonna end up doing track and putting wood so it matches the rest of that fence right there. I think that's gonna look really good. So we'll probably jump to tomorrow. Tonight I'm taking my oldest daughter to a daddy-daughter dance that our school is putting on up here. So I'm gonna go enjoy the time with my oldest and have some fun. And then tomorrow we have church in the morning. And then once we're done with church, I may come back out here and finish up that gate and go ahead and get these gates ready to install onto the fence. Hopefully my father-in-law needed the welder and the cutting torch. So he's been working with that this weekend. I'm hoping that I can just get it back over here for a couple hours so I can cut all the holes for our hinges to go through the pipe, and then we can go ahead and get everything cinched up and we can start hanging these gates and start installing them permanently. So, all right, let's talk about a little something called YouTube magic. YouTube magic is the power of editing. It can make me look like I do things that I don't, and it also can make me look cooler than I am. Just because these videos are 20 minutes long doesn't mean that is how long it took me to do these projects. And in this case right now, I just ran out of MIG wire. So I need to run to the store and grab some more. I'm not gonna bore you with it. Just wanna let you know that this stuff takes time. And if you get frustrated with your timelines and why you can't just meet a deadline, it is because everything that will go wrong, and it's how you overcome and adapt to those things. It just helps make the project go smoother. So me understanding that I only bought a 2-pound spool of wire when I purchased this MIG welder, I knew that was gonna happen. Did I want it to happen on quite literally the last gate that we're building? No. All right, we have taken refuge from the wind in the garage. Holy moly, the wind is blowing so hard and putting up those fence posts. Oh, it's like putting a sail into the wind without it being mounted to anything. It is a pain in the butt. I don't know if you saw it in the time lapse, but I absolutely chunked a C-clamp. I was so mad. But it was a nice day. It was 73 degrees outside and I had to get something done. We're gonna try again tomorrow. If the wind is blowing super hard, I'm not even gonna jack with it because there's no reason for me to do this in the wind. There's some days coming up where it's gonna be really cold, but the wind's not gonna be blowing 600 miles an hour. All right, we are back at it today. As you saw, we had some crazy weather this week. We actually had 3 consecutive days under freezing, which is not like Texas at all. But today is going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be in the 50s. And then all next week is going to be in the 70s. So welcome to Texas. If you haven't been here before, this is the way our weather is. She gets a little bipolar here in February, early March. And what it does is just tears everybody's sinuses up and makes it hard to do anything outside. So we are going to take advantage of this beautiful weather today. As you can hear, there's no wind at all. I would expect that to pick up because where we are, there's always wind. But I'm going to use this opportunity to get our wood slats put in here and done so we can move on to our other 2 gates, which are painted and ready to get put up. All right, guys, I went ahead and let the phone charge for a little bit, but I went ahead and got this hinge mounted up here, and we're gonna go ahead and move in our backyard gate. I'm gonna go ahead and put y'all on a time lapse, and I'm gonna hump it to try to get this done. I really wanna try to get the backyard done today so we can start containing our dogs. All right, you guys, we are done with a majority of our fence build. I still have to put our track and slats up in our front stretch of fence where our no man's land is, but I'll probably do that at the beginning of next video, if not off camera. But it feels good to be done. 855 foot of no climb horse fence, over 800 almost over 900 foot of top rail pipe installed, and then 400 foot, roughly 500 foot of 5-strand barbed wire that ran down the driveway, over 25 foot of barbed wire installed. It took us a little over 6 months to get this done, which is about 2.5 months over timelines for me. It turns out I'm not very good at calculating that out. Budget wise, we came in so far under budget when it comes to contracting this out. I originally got 2 quotes for all of this fence. One of them was $22,000, the other one was $24,000, and all in, including the pipe that we put in the ground 3 years ago, we are looking at just north of $5,000 all in. Is that a lot of money? Yes, a ton of money. Is that a savings that is worth it? Absolutely. We have $14,000, $15,000, $16,000 that we can throw at other projects now. because of just hard work. Don't be afraid to jump out and do things on your own, even if you have to learn them. A lot of these skills that I learned in high school. So it's nothing that you can't teach yourself. Obviously, I had to borrow some equipment. Huge shout out to my father-in-law for letting me borrow his welder and cutting torch. But I was able to use that and did all of this and just kind of learned as I went and learned with you guys along the way. So what is next? That's a great question. We do have a couple other projects to work on, but I'll probably save that for the next video. But I just want you to stay positive, keep your head up, keep working hard, keep putting one foot in front of the other, and don't get caught at the crossroads. We'll see you.